Hello everybody, Mikee here. Mikee This is the special edition, Jodi Arias, the murderous psycho stabber from hell, okay? So let's cut right into our video tonight since the testimony going on so very wrong, and see what we can find out. Do a quick little look at what's going on. Everybody, we turn that down now, Mikee Kung Pao here, because this is the marathon court session to go on and on and on and on and on. Keep it rocking till the night is gone. Okay, anyway, so go on and on. What are we going to hear about today? I don't want this YouTube video to be a marathon session, so we'll get cut right to the chase. Okay, new witness Dr. Geffner, and kind of like this guy, you know, a little more laid back. The best thing about him is he's not LaViolette, okay? I like him better than Sam Earls, too. So don't agree with the word of his testimony. I think he's a crank, but, you know, and come for his own agenda. Associate with LaViolette. But other than all that, he's a pretty good guy. All right, so what do we say about him? The school that he is affiliated with, where he's a big muckety-muck, look up their reviews on the web. And what's the name of that school? I had it here someplace. Anyway, they got terrible reviews on that. So also we know he's not a neurologist, and he's not an MD, but apparently he feels qualified to give a better diagnosis than the ME, who is an MD, and know all about the brain and the skull and know what the trajectory is and everything. This guy just kind of winging it, doing what the defense tells him to do. Okay, all right, whatever. What else do we know about him? One thing I'm very impressed with him on, though, by the way, besides the fact he's not LaViolette, one thing I really like about this guy is I think that he could win easily the eye-blinking contest of America. You know, I think he could win that contest pretty easily. So that's a good thing. And oh, by the way, Croaker Queen, you are the best. I noticed you stay up. I haven't even watched all the testimony from today, obviously. It's still going on at this moment. But I try to watch as much as I can, so we'll fit in what we can, a couple of things. We'll make a couple points and close this out. Everyone waiting for Juan's summation tomorrow, including me. Boy, I think this judge make a horrible, horrible decision to let the defense drag this thing out for 4 months, and then at the very end, she's going to exhaust them all the day before Juan's closing argument. It's like malpractice. I've been nice unto this judge up till now. I'm not saying anything bad about her, but this was awful. I sure hope the jury can still see through everything and do the right thing. I think they're going to, but certainly this was an unprecedented case in every way. Unprecedented in the level of deception and evil and the complete fraudulentness of the defense and everything, and unprecedented other way. Anyway, do we have anything else to say here? All this battle on the testing and the PTSD and the borderline personality disorder and what the tests mean and blah 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 blah. My head gonna explode. None of that mean a damn thing, because the bottom line is this was a brutal crime committed by a cold-blooded sociopath. I don't care where she scored on the test for borderline personality disorder. Do you? And as to PTSD, that's the biggest crock of nonsense I ever heard. And when we watch the Crips, we'll talk about that for a second, but you all know the truth already anyway, except you stupid Jodi little cult followers out there who are trolls and everything. All right, so let's pause here, look at some Crips on the computer, then we come back and wrap it up, and hopefully we get some sleep and watch Juan's Crows tomorrow. Can't wait. All right, everybody, let's take a look at what's going on with the new witness, Dr. Geffner. Notice for a second, Chris and Sky Hughes in the audience. I got my my Jodi tool here. I've got to bring Barbie on again sometime. Chris and Sky Hughes in the audience today, and so let's see what this guy talking about.
We're in the 10th, this will be our 11th year next year for the trauma conference. The international conference is now, this year will be its 18th year. So those are
some of the conferences you
major
go
events,
to.
but we do trainings
LaViolette.
throughout the country and in other countries, either myself or others that we're associated with.
Hey, that chick
you
smoking
mentioned
back
trainings
there?
with
She looked like she's
for
smoking.
lawyers, other psychologists. Do you ever train have medical doctors
Yes.
for training?
Yes.
And what about judges?
Yes.
I want to show you
What
something.
kind of training do you do for judges?
For about 10 years, I was the lead psychologist for the
I don't usually show you Travis' family members, but looked to me like his sister. Got the same look on her face like all of us fearing, you know, eye rolling, you know, basically.
National
It's like,
Judicial College.
we had enough of this already.
That's the main entity in the United States to train judges in a variety of areas. They're located in Reno, Nevada.
They're the evil
so
sociopath.
judges come there from all over the country and spend anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks.
I wanted to show you this
training
guy. Where can we,
different
let's
topic
take a
areas.
look.
My areas of
Percentage when we talk about
Okay.
somebody who has 2 diplomates like you do.
it drops way down. Less than 1% of psychologists have 2 or more diplomates.
All right. How long?
Cut to
part
the
of
new
the
doctor.
component that where
With
you
the doctor. Hey, Nermy's sitting up. Somebody yell at him.
Institute, you said
Somebody must have yelled
is
at him.
forensic work. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how long is it that you've been doing forensic work?
Look at all them brinks. See them brinks? Does that indicate,
30 years.
do brinks indicate
Okay.
deception?
And what does that mean? What does that encompass?
This guy Brink like mad, and Brinks supposedly indicate deception when people doing them. Okay, let's move on to something else. We got so much to cover, and we're going to just look at a few tiny bits of it.
So it actually is specifically geared more to looking at...
Watch what this guy do.
personality disorders.
This is the bumbling part of himself
Let's say then
that I
we're
like.
talking about if there's this hypothesis of borderline
Nermy, back to that
personality
again.
disorder. Is this the test
Couldn't
then
sit up
that
very
you would
long.
want to see the results of?
Yes, ma'am.
Oop, just spilled my water all over the place. Did you hear that gurgle and everything? Yeah, okay.
No, look too fast.
He spilled it again later, too. He was always spilling his water and stuff. Couldn't do the computer, and we're messing up a lot of his words and everything. So, we'll give him a break, though. Let's move on, see what else we're going to find out.
All these scales in here probably would be up just a little higher. Not a particular scale, just in general. Did that help?
Not really.
Okay.
I think that
Not really. Oh, I don't think so.
with the
LT.
desirability
Okay.
scale, and you see that it's elevated, what does that mean for like something like
Got to show you something up here after, since we're keying on Jodi for a second.
all right, and is that in any way true?
That they don't have, well, it's obviously not true. They're here. And you have 2 ways of getting those summary scales. A is the computer scoring, which is typical,
Look at that.
which
See that?
actually produces this.
Watch something
If you're
now.
not computer scoring it and your hand
Actually gonna do
scoring
the head
it,
thing.
it tells you in the scoring manual how you end up getting these 3 scales.
She's been doing that all day and scratching all day. That kind of reminds me of something I saw the other day on another site. Kawaii Skeptics. I don't know why. Just kind of reminded me of that a little bit, you know. Okay, so I know it's a little bit juvenile. I don't know what to say. Okay, just thought you could benefit from that for a second. And there are a lot of good stuff on the Kawaii Skeptic site. Serious stuff too, not just humor. And but we got to find the humor in this trial, don't we? So let's see what else we got going on here.
With your first one, what's the first
Okay,
step?
so this AA is anxious arousal. D is depression.
I had that before.
Those are in the DA is defensive avoidance. In other words,
I was going to say, tell me what defensive avoidance is.
okay, so this means somebody is
I
trying
touch myself.
inside
Yes,
their
I
head,
do. I touch
what we call
myself.
cognitively, to not think about or talk about the...
Yeah, Jodi been scratching all day, all through this trial. I think she's nervous because the deliberation coming up soon and causing hives or, high histamine levels or something. But anyway, this guy just talking about avoidance. And, if Jodi had PTSD, she wouldn't have done all that stuff that she did. She would have avoided thoughts of Travis instead of immersing herself in it. So let's see. Let's move on. What else are we going to find here? Something about hypotheticals. And that way up here. And I'm so glad this trial almost over because I couldn't take another few days of it. Let's see here.
They also exhibited borderline personality characteristics. what you're telling us is that they could have both, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But would it be appropriate in...
Okay, they waste the whole day talking about borderline, nothing to do with anything. Okay, this is what I say to that right here. I say that Juan Martina and this guy can go at it like this. Okay, here what they're going to do. Juan got the best of them. Yeah, me too. Ranting about borderline. Oh, experts arguing all the time. Experts arguing about borderline, boring us to death. Okay, let's go on and see how much are they boring us to death with this talk all day, and the jury too, of course, and the judge and everybody else. Let's take a look.
Events that you have experienced, and then it's saying, okay, of these various events,
Watch this. Jodi gonna go to sleep.
Was either the most traumatic or the one that you feel is impacting you the most.
Even
and then the questions
even Jodi go to sleep in this
okay.
Yep,
and
woke her up.
With regard
Nermie's
to
sleeping. Don't know if you can see that.
This particular
Nermie is asleep.
test,
Jury all asleep.
On part 2,
all of us asleep.
Okay. 550.
Let's move on.
On part 2.
All right, now you're going to talk about her relationship with LaViolette, because now we're under cross with Juan, finally, after about 87 hours today. Are there 87 hours in a day? Anyway, let's move on.
I believe she
being LaViolette, by the way.
I know or recall one article that she has published in one of the journals that I edit. We did a special issue about 6-7 years ago. I don't actually remember. I'd have to look at my Vita.
Okay.
On domestic violence offenders, looking at national policies, and we had about 18 different articles that was published in a double issue of one of the journals. That later came out as a book.
I think that book was called Snow White and the Seven Dwarf, don't you? That's what I think it was called. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. If we move on with this guy, oh, here we get the brain thing, like what Samuels was doing before.
Be the frontal lobe.
Okay.
That would be the frontal lobe. Okay.
And
remember, this guy not neurologist and he not an MD, but he's going to talk about the brain and say he's going to try to second guess the ME and say, yeah, the bullet really can go through the brain, but not cause any problems. You know, you can still dance the mamba and cure cancer and run a 5-mile marathon, a few other things after you've been shot in the head through the brain. Okay, that's what are you going to say? You don't need to hear it.
When we're talking about frontal lobe, does it matter whether it's right or left side?
Yes.
Okay. How does it matter?
Well, if it's the right side...
I got a question on this brain diagram.
This?
My question is, don't this look to you like a face? Okay, like that's the eye right there, and that's the mouth, okay, and that's the big old nose here, and it looked like a face to me. You know, that's how my mind works. Every time I look at something, you know, I see something in it. That's how the human mind works. Let's move on, because I want to show you how everyone responding to this. We're going to look at Travis.
From this one, it would be, whoops, let me just look a second. Can't tell if we're looking at the front or the side view.
Yeah, but you know, the brain might work and it might not work. And look at Jodi today. What's she doing? She got 1, 2, 3, 4 different pencil there. I would say that means she got different grades of graphite, different number, you know, 2, 4, 6, whatever. And so she's drawing again. And yeah, in fact, I think I can see some of her drawing over here. And that's one reason I hope she get the death penalty, because I don't want her to be able to sit in jail and do art for the rest of her life and sell it on eBay. And this is why I hope that the Travis Alexander family file a civil lawsuit for wrongful death about 10 seconds after the verdict being in this trial. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to show you something. Travis' sister, again, going to show us what we all fearing. Just do this whole thing. Coming up on it short, we're going to think... another sidebar, you know, latest in a wrong lie. How many sidebar in this trial? Like 8?
Continue.
Yeah.
So let me try that one again. If Dr. Horn were to
Chris,
tell this jury that because...
By the way, Chris and Sky Hughes, if I had time, I would show you a clip of what they were saying yesterday when they was in town. They said that LaViolette was a total disgrace to her profession because she took everything they say out of context, took one little sentence out of what they say, like telling Jodi, go ahead and move on. You know, if you're so unhappy with Travis, move on. Stop obsessing, move on. Stop being jealous and move on. And LaViolette tried to make that sound like he were abusive and that they were trying to tell her to move on because he abusive. And Chris and Sky both say, that is so absurd. That LaViolette, such a liar, because everything that we had there that we gave her, and of course she never interviewed them, of course. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent with the LaViolette. Let's keep going. I'll show you.
A bullet somehow made it past the dura without piercing it and leaving it intact and made it through the brain.
No, it was softened, you
and
idiot.
Out into the left
you already told that by the
frontal
ME.
lobe.
Okay?
If he told this
Sit down and
story,
shut up,
then
Wilmott.
that would have caused
Walnut.
immediate incapacitation, where the person could not move.
You the one with the soft
Would you
brain,
agree with
Wilmott.
that,
That's
based
why
on
no
what
track
you
would be in
know
your
about the
brain.
Not unless it produced some type of huge explosion or something in the brain.
Oh, you
that
guy
will
talking
affect
nonsense. Get
all
the ME
these
back on
other
the stand.
areas
No,
in the motor
don't.
strip.
They already heard him. See,
It could
look at her.
disorient the person. It could cause some other things.
She's
but
going, oh
there's
my gosh.
substantial documentation in the...
How much this nonsense we gotta listen to, she's saying to herself. Okay. Pause there for a second. And then, oh wait. Juan,
research
Ron hit this guy up on
frontal
cross.
lobe injuries, some even more severe than that, that do not cause incapacitation.
What kind of research are you referring to?
There's been research in both, especially in the
Oh, that was the face we were looking for.
neuropathology
Yeah,
area
she going,
and the,
yeah, right.
You testified, indicated that your testimony was completely without merit, right?
I believe something of those effects.
Do you want to take a look at this opinion?
That would be fine. I don't
Sure,
remember his
let's do
exact
it.
words, but yes, that would be fine.
Go Juan. Juan talking about how another judge say this guy just come in and be a hack for the defense and his testimony complete without merit. They throw it out. Okay, so Juan getting him on some stuff there. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. And Juan do a pretty good job today, but he'd be do a big disservice by the judge to even allow more testimony from yet another expert. Let's see what else we got here.
That level found that your affidavit lacked credibility. Isn't that what it says?
Evidently.
Do you need to look at this?
Evidently.
No, I didn't know it at the time that I submitted it.
I'm not asking at the time. I'm asking as you sit here today.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that you know?
You notice something about the witnesses? When they first get up on the stand with Juan, they got this big ass-eating grin on their face, right? I'm going to get one over on you, prosecutor. And remember LaViolette was like that, and Samuels, and the Psycho herself, and everybody. And by the time Juan get done with them, and they're getting down off the stand, they're beaten like a dog, you know, like Jodi kicking a dog. They got their tail under their leg. They're not so happy anymore. I like this guy better than the other ones because he not an arrogant smirk on his face like the other ones. But he did start off all smiles and everything, like nothing gonna get to me, you know. I had my joint from UCSC and nobody gonna bother me. But by the end of the thing, he was, you know, not feeling so happy anymore. Let's move on. Okay, just gonna show you, you know, since the testimony ramble on for hours, I'll say the same nonsense fighting over tests. We're just gonna tell you the next water spill, because I think you're more interested in the water spill. That's the only way we're gonna wake up.
But your view is that just because the instructions are there, it's bad work on the part of Janine DeMarte because she did not do the summary skills. That's what you told us, right?
No.
Whoop. Did he say Shiite? Was he talking about a sect of Islam or what? I think that he might have said. I don't know. Maybe pretty soon his phone will start ringing off in a court someplace, and then after that he'll say, you know, I left my reading glasses at home. Can we suspend court for an hour while I go get them? Like, you know, LaViolette did. Anyway, like I say, I don't want to be too hot on that guy. I like him better than LaViolette. I like him by about 100 to 1 better than Violette, even though everything he say is nonsense. And not his qualified to talk about the stuff that the ME said about the brain and the bullet. But anyway, I think we better close this out, because we don't want to go wrong tonight. I know you're going to all want to watch that Juan summation tomorrow along with me. And I can't watch it because I'm going to be at work. I have to watch it when I get home. Catch some at lunchtime because Croker Queen the best to put it all up. So we'll stop here. Oh, sorry. Hey, is Dr. Geffner's testimony over yet? I sure hope so, because I don't know if it's going to be 2 or 3 a.m. or if the jury are going to get more than 2 or 3 hours sleep. Anyway, what was I thinking of before? That Dr. Geffner, he went to UCS, he get a PhD. I've got to tell you something about that place, because it's only 6 miles from my house. Okay, that place been a laughing stock around here for about 4 decades or so. Okay, now I'm not badmouth. Don't send me to hate mayor, okay? I'm not saying this about the whole college and all their programs. They have, for example, a couple really good science units like marine biology. They got a very good geology unit. You know, they're the ones that run the, you know, all the earthquake monitoring equipment and everything for the West Coast and all that. Good website for that and all that kind of thing. So they got some good sections there. But you know, they also have. They're known for as a liberal arts college, reputation for being really flaky. Like you know, they have a tenured professor named Angela Davis. And those of you old as I am, like, you know, if you're like 130 years old, then you remember Angela Davis. She had an afro, you know, much bigger than my hat, okay? Her hair go like up here. I can't get it in the camera. It'd be like trying to get Nermi in the camera. And this Angela Davis, radical America hater, all she do is talk about how we should destroy the country and, you know, everybody should revolt and, you know, overthrow everything and become hardcore communist Stalinists and all that kind of thing. So that's the kind of college that has a reputation for being. Anyway, that's where he come from. San Jose State he went to also. They have a good reputation. So they're just over the mountain from me here, and they're good school. But you know, the guy got pretty good credentials. He'd been misused like all the defense witnesses. Well, but he not nearly as much of an embarrassment as LaViolette. So big long debate on borderline. Nobody care. What we're going to talk about in the pros. Well, we talked about the big mistake by the judge, and we don't really care whether Jodi have BPD, borderline personality disorder, or not, because here's the thing that we got to remember, okay? When it comes to self-defense and post-traumatic stress, she do all the things that would be the opposite of what you would do if you had that syndrome. What did she do? Did she try to avoid memory of Travis and this brutal attack that he didn't ever do? No. She calling him on the phone a few hours later, leaving a happy message to try to cover her track, crawling on some other guy trying to make out. You know, I put all that in the other video. And she do all the complicated cover-up stuff at the house before she leave. And you know, she's sending flowers to the family, going to the memorial, talking to everybody under the sun about Travis, calling the police, you know, just want to make sure and check in, see if I can help you in any way, you know, and see what you know so far, whether you're onto me or not, and, you know, all and on in that vein, everything she do. And now she have several years, of course, into jail to figure out her strategy to try to beat all these tests and everything and come up with some hokey defense since the 2 ninjas didn't work and all of that. So not a bit of it make a bit of sense. So I'm so glad the testimony, we're all exhausted from this thing, right? Are you? I am. All right, so anyway, one more thing I want to say. We're all looking forward to Juan's Crows tomorrow, and I noticed on Croaker Queen's site, thank you Croaker Queen again for putting all this up, a whole bunch of trolls coming out of the woodwork now that it's all over, testimony over, and a big band of Jodi trolls. And I gotta ask you trolls something, okay? If Stalin was on the stand, or Hitler, or maybe Ted Bundy, or someone like that, maybe Satan, okay, I think you would all really be supportive of them and say they're the ones in the right and everybody else in the wrong. That's what I think. I think you're just a bunch of evil-hearted nobodies who are trying to attach yourself to someone to have an identity because you don't have one. Because this is a phenomenon we see everywhere. Everywhere there's an evil person, you get this little band of followers, you know. The Jim Jones go down and everyone drink the Kool-Aid. You're Kool-Aid drinkers. Anyway, I wrote a little song for you. Since you're doing, I got to find it. Pause 1 second. Alright, so here's the song I have for the trolls on Croaker Queen's site and everybody else's site like mine. That I'm going to sing for you, and I have a terrible voice and I got allergies, so bear with me, but it go like this, just for you trolls, okay? Trollin', 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 keep them insults throwin', trollin', 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 trolls ride the ranks to which they're going to keep the bullshit throwin', their love for evil growing, trolls ride. Round them up, send them off, flag their posts, get them out, snap their heads, trolls ride, trolls ride, okay? Sorry, everybody. I'm not going to win any contest at the Mesa Jail, you know, in the jailhouse singing contest that Jodi do. I hope she'd be singing in that contest for the next 40 years, don't you? So anyway, before I sign off, of course, I got to say the signature line, and it's so appropriate tonight of all times. Don't go with no sociopath. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody, or the next day, or whatever.